I have a new advertorial to show to you, and it's about a collagen supplement. And I pretty much like this advertorial because it's short, concise, it's understandable, it's really going on the main factors a great advertorial should have. It has a great story, it creates a great problem awareness, and at the end has a great offer to let the customer buy now. And yes, let's look right into it. I actually don't know what brand this is. What's actually bad if I can't recall what brand name this is. But this is Perfect Keto. Perfect Keto's unflavored collagen. Perfect Keto's, okay, so a little bit indistinctive name from the brand side. Yes, we have a great image here at the beginning, which matches the image of the author, and that we have an author, so it's really created like a news publication, and it's not using the same image, it's a different image. So it's targeting it creates a real feeling that this is a real person who is writing here. And yes, we jump right into a title, which I don't think is that great. I like the intention of it, that this supplement gave me better bones than 90% of my doctor's other patients, but it's so hard to understand. If you're reading this for the first time, this supplement gave me better bones than 90% of my doctor's other patients. This sounds so complex. I would rather say something like doctor's patients, 90% of it. Somehow first say doctor, my doctor, and 90% of his patients, but then the title would be much longer. So I gave some examples here how you can write it differently. Even my doctor was surprised. The supplement gave me incredible bone strength. Or if you want to go on to the 90% stuff, my doctor says my bones are stronger than 90% of his other patients. This is so much simpler to understand thanks to this supplement. And then the story goes on. Or you can go on the other side and call out the 10% that get better results, because we often also feel that we want to go to a solution to a desired result, but you can also just test around with your audience and understand, okay, what's a sentence, a structure that works pretty well. You just can analyze your ads with time and see, okay, this part works great, here is a big drop off. And yes, I found a secret to strong bones. My doctor says I'm in the top 10% of his patients. It's much simpler to understand than this title. And the rhetorical question here is which supplement, of course. And the curiosity raises. I would somehow answer this a little bit sooner, but I also like that it's not jumping right into the product. It's going first with a problem, exaggerating it, and then introducing the solution and the product. So I actually like that. Maybe I would go more visual with the packaging here on showing, okay, here it's about the product you can buy today. But all in all, as I already said, this is a great advertorial. You can definitely copy this and improve something on something like this. It's natural and backed by science. So you have, of course, the first thought, okay, 90% of my doctor's other patients, now if you take this title, okay, this must be some aggressive shit. But in this case, we counter this thinking by saying, no, it's not that aggressive. It works great with nature's medicine. And because most of the people that take care of their own health are distraught of doctors and big pharma. And yes, we're just talking to this specific audience. And it's crazy delicious. Yeah, I like it. It's not just about the science, but also people that just like to have some different taste, something different to discover for their tongue, just like some cooking, some meal cooking. People are curious on experimenting with this. These buttons are too big, I think. Why should there be a LinkedIn button? Why should I post my collagen supplement on a professional website? This doesn't make any sense. Yes, this logo is old, but this wall advertorial is created some time back. I would definitely put in here a TikTok, or yeah, TikTok is mainly video, but Instagram for sure. If you're advertising on Instagram or Meta, I would put in maybe some Google link. I don't know, you can't post on Google, but I think the buttons are too big. It's not really encouraging to share it. Also not really creating a social proof. You could maybe put in logo of brands you have worked with or publications that published you. I've been active my whole life and I've never experienced pain like this. I don't like this repetition of "and I have never experienced pain like this." Otherwise, great title. I would leave the point maybe away, maybe capitalize the first words, and yes, maybe put in the "here is why" at the end, so it's more natural to read onward. I like overall the font size of this text, because if we look over here and here, it's much smaller. Yeah, and it's always important to consider that people are really reading on their small phones, and we need to play into that. And we also should always think about using 5 to 8 words per line, and this perfectly matches it actually. And here the problem awareness starts. My knees were stiff and painful, and it's also a story, to the point where working out was almost impossible. Sometimes it was so painful I had trouble sleeping. Running is a huge boost to my mental health. So here starts the exaggeration of the problem. And it's also talking about big problem, the mental health. Because already the media created this huge bubble around mental health, and now it's going the same route and talking about the same stuff, so it's pretty easy to understand to customers or readers on what is this about. My weight started coming back. I knew if I didn't do something, I was going to be battling depression as well. And here I like this section again. You could maybe color it, so give it another background color, maybe a blue or a color of your brand like this one, and with some lower opacity. And it's just catching attention, because most people are like, okay, they see this picture, they see this title, scroll down, and they now want something catchy to know, okay, this will be worthy of my time to read this text. And working out was almost impossible. Sometimes it was so painful I had trouble sleeping. This could catch their attention, and then say, okay, let's look what is written here. And then they start with reading the first few words. My doctor jumped right to medicating away the problem. This can catch attention. I like how it's again very visual, with jumped right into it. You can imagine every doctor, like doctors are already pretty hyperactive, and then I can't imagine that people don't know this experience of a hyperactive doctor coming with full energy to you. And yeah, it's talking exactly to that. And as I already said, this audience is pretty distraught about doctors, about big pharma. They want to take care of their health themselves. But I didn't want the risk that come with using painkillers long term. Okay, and this is already the solution. And then introducing here the product. I wanted a natural solution, and we are again talking about the natural way as we mentioned here. So we are repeating it, not just the pain. Exactly, and it's creating a desire that I want to also to get this solution of being pain-free, or this state of being pain-free. After doing a ton of research, I came across Perfect Collagen. Exactly. She is establishing, or this copywriter is establishing an authoritative spokesperson, because she did a ton of research. And yes, it's also creating this newsy style by now introducing the product, and not sooner. As I said, I would like to shortly mention here collagen, on how collagen solved this problem, maybe not mention the brand name, but that there is a product to buy, so you can prepare the customer already on buying something at the end. To tie all this story to a specific, to tie this story you're telling here to a specific product. And yes, then it goes on, collagen is the most abundant protein, and the layman thinks here, okay, if it's the most abundant protein in my body, this must be an important protein, and I should take care of it. I should read onward to find out why it's important, why I should take care of it. And then it goes on mentioning on how it's helping. It's pretty cramped. I like that it's cramped because you can then put in the links here, and the probability that people will click away is low because most people are just reading casually. Maybe somebody will click on it, just look, okay, there is really something linked on it. But if you go to some research article, nobody's gonna read that because it's such a complex language that just a few people understand, and it's building more trust than bringing people away from this landing page. And yes, it's going to be important as well later because it's talking here about how fast my nails were growing. So it's again tagging right back on the previous message we had, but we will come here later. And here we have a picture, but it's a little bit weak, I think. It's not expressing anything, not tying a message we are having in the text to this product. This text is too bright. I would create a headline, a sub-headline somewhere here that's bright and understandable. Okay, now it's about the product, on how it looks, and yeah, you can also give it some rounded corners on design. There's the collagen. Exactly. People are probably, who are reading this, they are educating themselves. They all are probably already in the bottom of the funnel, because at the top of the funnel you are interacting with some ads, you're catching their attention, and the bottom of the funnel really does more research on understanding, okay, which product do I need to choose right now then. And the people on the bottom of the funnel are aware that there are so many supplements for collagen, and it's creating empathy by calling this out. And then it starts positioning itself with the MCTs. I don't know what's standing for the MCT, but it's saying, okay, this MCT is super important. It's helping to lose fat. That's already important, as she established previously that she has problems with her bones, and now her weight started to rise, and also showing in the storyline the things that she learned, because she is now an authoritative person, ton of research. She now needs to prove that also, like she knows what's MCT. And also support fat loss. It's just a big problem. Everybody wants to lose weight, everybody wants to look skinny, and this is a very big problem. I also love to see that they don't use added sugar. Exactly. My husband and I try to eat as clean as possible. Who doesn't want to eat as clean as possible, of course? And it's mentioning my husband and I try to eat as clean. So this woman is taking care of two people's health. As often in a family, that the woman, the wife, also takes care of the food in the household, and it also creates empathy by doing that and showing, hey, look, I understand you. Finding a clean natural collagen supplement that also supported my weight loss goal seems too good to be true, but here we are. Exactly, we just said support fat loss with these MCTs, so it's positioning the product that this is the only choice, and actually it really does it. And then it's about taste. Yeah, most people think that taste is important, but if you think about Red Bull, it was a disgusting drink, and now today everybody is drinking it. So it's more about the perception thing, countering most people's thoughts. Okay, yeah, because most people want to understand, okay, how is it actually tasting? I don't think I would first mention I need to stir it into my coffee or how to drink it, and then I would talk about the taste, because this is also the more natural way of thinking or progressing if you're creating a coffee, because or using a supplement. You put this into it, then you go to your mouth, then you smell on it, and then you drink, and you can follow this natural path. It not just smells great, but also it tastes great, or it's not shit. You can do also the negative of it. How crucial of a product through her research? Exactly. But I was also prepared to hold my nose, because through her research, the authoritative storytelling person would also hold her nose closed, because she just understands how important this product is for her health benefits. And this is bad again here. How happy I was when my order finally came. This finally came sounds like it took a long time until this product arrives. If you aren't that great with logistics, yes, you can mention it, because then the customer is more prepared on being patient with waiting on the product. But otherwise, this sounds like, okay, why haven't they figured out their logistics? Nearly every big brand or established brand in e-commerce has a shipping time of 1 to 5 days. And then it's talking about the taste. Collagen is creamy, perfectly sweet, and super flavorful. I like how it's not just saying it's tasty, but it's saying really collagen is creamy. It's perfectly tasty, perfectly sweet, and super flavorful. Yes, the perfect, super flavorful, these are pretty non-expressive words, but it's great. It's understandable, fast, understandable quickly, and that's what's important. And now it's talking about, but does it work? We already proved yes, it's working, but we can go deeper on that. And it's now saying we just started testing it for 1 week. So we didn't jump right in and established it for our whole routine, but we just tested it, just like a customer would first test it, see how it goes for 1 week, how my body is reacting. And then it's going on the next section with yes, and you get fast results. So yes, this one testing week you will probably get good results to continue on ordering. And then it's also talking about the subscription. And yes, then it's talking about the how to use it. It's always important to talk about on how to use your product, because people think, okay, now you have a great product, but how do I apply it to my own life? And here it's saying, yeah, just put it into your coffee, and it's going to be creamy. And it's also going specific with the handheld frother, so it's mimicking a real person who's talking here. I don't know if it's a real person, but going into details is always great. Also, people will probably have a handheld frother at home and will do it just like that, so giving some help to their hand. And it's also again the benefit on coffee, creamy and sweet. I quickly stopped using creamer completely. My coffee just didn't need it. What are you talking about? I don't know. I probably the texter overlooked this. It doesn't make any sense to me, at least. After just 1 week, I felt a huge difference in my knee. Yes, you're getting the fast results. Just 1 week. It was easier to sleep and even felt well enough to start going on long walks again. Benefit, and it's talking here to 50 plus women primarily, and going on long walks again. Yeah, that's just what people do at that age, at 60, because less people go on going on long runs, and they look for more activity that is mediocre, but they can do continuously. They also have more time because they are empty nesters, and so they have an empty, or the children already moved out, and they have enough money accumulated, so a pretty stable life, so they have plenty of time. And I even noticed that there was exactly, and this bone stuff, exactly, after a month I was almost back to my regular routine, but going on long walks again, because the problem is that primarily women, through their hormones, and their menopause, their hormones drop and it weakens their bones. And this is exactly a product that helps them then to strengthen their bones. I even noticed that there wasn't much hair coming out of my comb. Yeah, every woman can imagine this pretty precisely, that they come through their hair and someday there's just so much hair in it, or maybe they just don't clean their hairbrush that often, and this is a very visual language again. My husband says he has to cut his nails every week. I like it because it's also very imaginative. Okay, my nails grow that fast, but I would rather, as I talked about it previously, go and mention, you remember, I would put this into the text. You remember how this collagen helps your nail growth, because this involves the customer much more, and raising their attention, their awareness, and then saying that their nail growth is so fast. Because probably people that are reading this text already forgot what's standing here, because it's a pretty informative advertorial. And yes, again, eye-catching. So if somebody drops off here and thinks, oh my god, this is so complex, they can scroll down here. After just 1 week, I felt a huge difference. This is very important. People want to have fast results. That's also why we have often a before and after, because it's so simple. You understand, okay, left, right, easy result. Let's go on to it. Curiosity and eye-catching. People scroll fast. Yes, we had experienced such great results. I decided to buy Perfect. Exactly. So it doesn't stop here in the story. I even thought about other people. And this is also creating just this gifting narrative. And I'm just so convinced that this works. Or not just convinced, but I have felt such a great result. I need to recommend it to other people. Great products are getting recommended always. And you can just mention it here. Everybody eats sugar. Exactly. The problem is that sugar aggravates your mental health and memory. Everybody eats sugar. And if you're calling it out that it aggravates your mental health and memory, you think yourself, oh my god, what if it's also aggravating my mental health? Last time I was a little bit insecure or something like that, or something I couldn't recall easily. Maybe this problem solves it, or maybe because I was eating too much sugar, and maybe this product helps me. In addition, we have to keep an eye on her blood sugar. Yes, most Americans. So it's talking to a very specific audience. I fixed her coffee with a scoop of my chocolate collagen. So yeah, it's introducing different spices, different flavors, just like my husband had been enjoying. Yes, just a great storytelling. It's very personal. And she actually loved it. It was amazing to see. Her mood was improved and she didn't crash and take a nap like she normally did after her sugary coffee. Exactly, didn't crash. I know this plenty of other brands also mentioned this, didn't crash and whatever. I didn't feel myself I would be crashing after breakfast or what. I fixed her coffee. Yeah, after my sugary coffee. She's used to it and her arthritis, so it's talking about medical benefits. In her hands doesn't bother her, because arthritis is pretty common in that higher age and a problem that's very painful. So people want to solve it somehow, and they invest a lot of money into different solutions. I know there is this whole health bubble online where you get creams for your arthritis, then gloves, compression gloves, cooling agents, whatever, books. And yes, it's getting personal and imaginative, and she's able to play the piano again. I love it. You create really a personal relationship to this story. A versatile supplement, a little bit boring title, so too broad. This supplement is helping multiple health points, or get more specific. I can experiment too. Exactly. Since we started using collagen, we've experimented with different flavors and different ways of using it. The customer or the reader will think, oh my god, I can experiment with this too. How to, but we also love adding Perfect Keto's unflavored collagen to recipes. Exactly, it's again how to, and okay, a versatile supplement. Maybe you can then use a title here, that is a supplement to enjoy, something around that could work great. But I would start, because we're doing the video right now, I would first of all think much more about the different titles. I would write down 5 titles that could fit here and maybe ask ChatGPT giving me different variations of it and from different perspectives. I like to use different perspectives because then ChatGPT or the large language models try to target a point from different perspectives and you get really great creative ideas. I love browsing Perfect Keto's huge recipe collection on their website when my husband or I get bored with our weekly menu or when, yeah, this is no focus point. Oh yeah, illusion of choice. Perfect Keto recently came out with a strawberry flavor, which is amazing, in plain yogurt or fruity smoothies. And creating this illusion of choice that you don't have to get the perfect keto without flavoring, but you can also get the strawberry flavor. So it's like, get this product or get this one, and so the customer is getting put into the corner and having to choose between 2 choices or 2 products. There's no way out, like there's just one product. But here it's getting too much. I love browsing Perfect Keto's huge recipe collection. Yeah, it's just as I said here previously, you have this illusion of choice that we are introducing 2 products, but if we're introducing 200 products, there are marketing observations that people are less likely to buy if there is a big choice palette. But otherwise, it creates this main player narrative that Perfect Keto has so many flavors, probably because they're an established brand, because they're a market leader. I would just frame it differently. Because I like the message of being a main player, but I would just bring this message differently forward. And they even have a Facebook group where supportive and smart people come together to figure out ways to make the healthy lifestyle easier. Yeah, it's again going into this establishment, just like the previous sentence was about having a wide variety and being a market leader. And there is a community. So it's creating social proof, but not like, oh my God, we have 30,000 5-star reviews. No, it's much more indirect and also a less used angle, so it's really more believable. Even old injuries benefit. Okay, I'm okay with that title. Maybe you could just use a wordplay, because I barely see any wordplays. Wordplays are great for having easy reminder of this product. Measurable impact, not just bogus claims. Exactly. My husband has an old back injury and went to the doctor. So the doctor assessed this by getting a blood test, and the calcium levels were just crazy. So yes, we have a measurable impact, and it's talking about an orthopedic doctor. So it's not a specialist. It's not just it's a specialist, the orthopedic doctor, not just a random family doctor. And here again, the main claim of the title: 90% of people I see in your age group, and it's matching again. So it's creating just a cohesive, well-rounded story. The results were pretty surprising best way, and we truly believe these results wouldn't have been possible without having collagen on a regular basis. Surprising, exactly, pretty surprising. It raises curiosity on how this product can surprise the customer too. Yeah, not too good to be true, boring title, but okay. It's crazy to think that one supplement has done so much to improve my family's quality of life. We set up an automated subscription. Exactly, this just raises the AOV. It mentions the URL. I would make it clickable. I would maybe put in here already a checkout button or a button to go to this site, or just a soft CTA. And also calling out something like this in the text itself is very valuable, because it's just in the natural flow. A person thinking of somebody else first, exactly. So it's not a selfish person, this writer. Supplement has done so much to improve my family's quality of life. So this person is obviously thinking of other people first, probably also of me. That's why probably they are mentioning this subscription offer. During and the customer thinks about ordering, talk about that. Exactly. You should really talk about ordering So yes, it's talking exactly about that, that the end that you can pretty fast get this product delivered, because the customer thinks always at the end about ordering right now, then just call it out. Also that you have a great return policy, a guarantee. If you don't like it, you can keep it and we will refund you. I don't know, make a big claim, make a big claim other brands can't, because you're so confident about your offer. And also there are statistics that just creating a 30-day money back guarantee or 60-day money back guarantee won't make such a big difference in your returns. So you can have a kick-ass customer support that says, okay, I'm sorry, I can't refund you today, or you get some story to not refund them. It's also possible sometimes. I wouldn't do it personally, but trust me, you are going to be surprised at how yummy this is. So even if it's not working, at least it's tasting great, so maybe you won't return it or contact the customer support because it's just tasting great. And then there's this update kind of style. I've seen plenty of advertorials that this creates just a recency. So this advertorial makes the feel that, or creates the feel that somebody is actively taking care of this advertorial, somebody is behind it, and also just having now a great offer. And it's very personal. I wrote the above post a week ago, and we have one buy one get one 50% special deal. And yeah, sometimes there are always also advertorials where it's about talking. I came back to raise the price of this of this product because so many people bought it, and this can also create some urgency. And then here again, this picture, it's the same picture as in the small face here at the top, like this one, but it's still a different kind of lighting because it's just bigger, and it's mentioning parts that are speaking to this customer, because most people on this advertorial are probably going to be women. I'm an empty nester, I'm a recovering executive, so it's an authoritative person, somebody you can trust, and brand new grandma, some personal stuff. And yes, this creates authority, has a big audience appeal, and that's it. If you liked it, leave a comment below, like it, and see you next time. Thank you.